Joined here by Scott Sandelin prior to UMD's weekend series with Western Michigan. Any opening comments?
No, it was good to be back on the ice today.
All right, we'll open up.
Good. It was a good day, Sean.
Go to Matt.
Scott, what was the energy level like? What was it like to get the guys all back together on the ice today?
It was good. It was good to see him finally. No, it was good. I thought the guys had a good day. Hopefully, that continues. But it reminded me a little bit of coming off of the Christmas break, Matt, where we had some time off, and the guys got to the outdoor rink a little bit the last 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, so that was good. Get them outside and get them skating, and I thought they were excited to be back, and we had a good day. So, but that's what it reminded me of. We had a lot of energy coming off the Christmas break too, so. I thought that carried over into our first weekend with St. Cloud, and certainly the first game, and hopefully that carries over this weekend.
Back to Matt.
Do you kind of treat this whole return from the pause like you guys are coming back from a holiday break, or are there things that maybe you mentioned you had talked to your son Ryan about what they'd gone through at Minnesota State? Are there different things that how you handle this?
It's different. I mean, obviously, yes, it's very, like I said, I think it's very similar because we haven't gone through really any pauses. I mean, we were going pretty good from, the end of September until we got to the pod, and we didn't have any shutdowns or pauses per se with the COVID. And, then you go in and play the games, and then you get the break and you come back after guys get a little rest, and, they're excited to get back. And so this is very similar to that. The time frame is similar as well, right? I think, but this one might have been a little bit longer. But the good thing is, like the pod, we came back and played 4 games, right? So it wasn't like we were like Omaha, where they didn't play out of the pod and they were just getting back. So I'm hoping that gets our guys back a little bit quicker. They were able to work out and do some things. Not all of them, but the majority of our group was doing off ice workouts. So we'll see. I'm expecting certainly the guys to be a little tired tomorrow or a little sore just because they haven't done much. But overall, I was happy with the day, and it was, like I said, it was good to be back on the ice.
Go to Sam.
Scott, to kind of put a positive spin on this pause, do you feel like it kind of gives the guys a little bit more hunger, a little bit more motivation, given how the St. Cloud series went?
I don't know. I think sometimes when you get away and you're going to reflect a little bit. I think our guys understand. Like, I know one thing, it gives us a greater appreciation again of how fun it is to play and not take a break, which we've talked about all year. But, I think even as a coaching staff, you go back and you look at some of the things that we got to improve on, and we worked on some of that stuff today, and, hopefully we'll get better. But, I just think the guys, when you're not doing anything for 10 days, it's tough, and they want to be on the ice, and like that energy is a big part of it. I thought our emotional level before the second weekend against St. Cloud wasn't as high as the previous week. I've talked to other coaches that have gone through the same thing with their teams. So sometimes you get away from stuff that you like to do, and you have a great appreciation of getting back. And then, like I said, I like what I saw today, and I hope we can carry that over and have a good weekend against Western.
Over to Neil.
Coach, I believe this is your first time this season playing in front of fans. Just kind of, you were talking about energy. Just how much does that bring to the team, seeing some familiar faces in the stands?
Well, I think it'll be nice for our guys to have some family members there, right? I mean, I think, some of them are, it might be their last year, and, it's tough to watch games on video or streaming all the time. So it'll be nice to have some people in there, and hopefully as we go along, we can continue to get more. But it's still not the same as having, 1,000 students in there, and, but it's still nice to have some bodies in there. And certainly the people that are going to be in there are our family. And I think that's pretty cool. So hopefully we can continue to grow that. But it's not going to be, they're going to have to be awfully loud. I'm going to say that if there's 150 people in here, but hopefully we can hear them. usually when the empty building, you can hear a lot of stuff on the ice. So hopefully we'll hear some of the fans that are in the building. But it'll be nice to get some people in there.
Over to Matt.
Scott, what's the status of Wyatt Kaiser for this weekend, and how many guys in general are you hoping to have? I know you said Monday you'll have enough, but how many total are you gonna have for this weekend?
Yeah, well, I mean, he skated today and felt good, and so I think right now compared to what I told you last week, we're in a lot different spots. So it's good. I think some other guys have got a chance to heal up a little bit too. Louis, he was dinged up there in that last game, but he's rested and ready to go. So I think right now all of them, we've still got a couple guys in the quarantine. So one won't be available obviously until probably next week, but our other one, just because of the contact tracing, is kind of behind. It's nothing he's done. It's just the way they saw it. So he's a day or two behind before he can get back on the ice. So that's something we've talked about, but it is what it is, right? But we've got everybody. Well, for this weekend, we'll have everybody but one, right, ready to go.
Over to Sam.
As of now.
Go over to Sam.
Scott, with how well Zach Stayskal played in net last time out, is there a chance the goalie rotation could turn into a two-man thing, or is this going to be Ryan's net?
I wouldn't even say it's two. I mean, Benny Pat's been pretty good too, and he may, again, the nice thing is a couple guys have played. We got 3 guys that can play. I'm going to say the same thing I said before the pod. We'll let it kind of play out. We'll kind of make that determination game to game. And, again, if like Ryan did, he got on a roll in the pod, and, we kind of stayed with him, and, could have played some other guys, but we just felt he was doing the job. I thought Zach had another good outing, so that's good. And I hope there is competition, because none of those guys should get complacent, just like any forward. And I think the competition breeds, guys getting better. And if we continue to have that with all 3 of them, and they push each other, and, all we can ask of the guys that don't play, make sure they're ready when their time is called and practice hard. And those guys have all done that. So I think we're in a good situation with our goalies right now.
Over to Neil.
Scott, first time seeing Western Michigan this season. What have you seen on film so far, and what kind of challenges could they present to your team this weekend?
Well, number one, they're one of the hotter teams. They started. The pod wasn't kind to them. They had some injuries. Obviously, they lost their starting goalie in game 1, and had to go and play, some guys that maybe weren't ready. And I think those guys got experience through there. They got better, certainly, as that whole pod went on, and playing very well at the end. They took their lumps early, but, again, anytime you can sweep a St. Cloud. But I think they're 4-0-1 their last 5 games. And they've got a younger team, but they've got some very talented forwards. Frank is having a great year. Basalt, their back end, Ronnie Adder, is one of the top D in the league, and they're getting better goaltending. So they're playing with more confidence as a group. They still play a fast game. They play north really quickly. They defend hard. So, right now, I think it's a team that is at a way different confidence level than they were, say in December. And, what confidence can do. It certainly, helps your team going into games. So we know it's going to be, again, anybody in our league is tough, right? And we've always had some very tough games with them, and they don't give you a lot of room. And so again, we're coming off a break, so I'm hoping that we're well rested and we have the energy. We might be a little rusty, but and they're coming off a 2-game sweep of St. Cloud, and 5-game unbeaten streak, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. So again, a great challenge for our team, but we'll see. We'll see how we come out, and we'll see how we're willing to play 60 minutes the way we need to.
Over to Matt.
Scott, were you able to take some time during this pause to do some self-scouting of your own team, and what did you learn or see that maybe you had missed earlier?
Well, yeah, we're always self-scouting that, but again, there was some time here, but some things that, you get to review a little bit more. We're always trying to watch our team and get better. But one of the things I think defensively, I think we've been a better team defensively, but we're not where we need to be. I think that's something that we worked on today. I think offensively, we're still a little bit inconsistent. I think we've showed some signs here against St. Cloud. Our recent games as far as I won't say producing offense, but being able to generate some opportunities. But it's still got to be more consistent. And our special teams needs to be better from, power play to penalty kill. Again, you're going to hear me say that. And again, when you watch the power play, it's not anything major. It's just sometimes even with our play, it's just decisions. Like it's some of the decisions we're making, and some of those decisions aren't the right decisions. And again, I'd like to say that kids make mistakes, but sometimes we like to term it, they make bad decisions instead of mistakes. So we'll just got to clean that stuff up and make better decisions. And hopefully, whether it's 5-on-5 play, whether it's power play, by making better decisions, we'll be better in those areas.
Go to Bruce.
Kind of along those lines, do you feel like you're kind of quote unquote close? The results certainly would indicate you're heading in the right direction in that regard. Do you feel like you're getting closer?
Yeah, Bruce, it is. It is close, and that's what we've kept reminding our team. Again, I haven't been disappointed in our effort, or I think there's certain situations where I'd like to see us compete a little bit harder and battle a little bit harder, but it's getting there. And I think it's such a fine line. Again, it's I could say, hey, win 5 more faceoffs in the game. Score 1 power play goal. Do this, do that, but that's how close it is. And I think we can't lose sight of that fact. And I don't want our guys to get down. I mean, you guys can talk about, our record over the last 7 games, but again, I could say I felt the same way maybe when we were 4-0, that we weren't as close, and there was a lot of things we needed to improve on, and that doesn't change throughout the year. It's just now we have a little bit better foundation because we played more games of trying to make certain areas a little bit better and a little more consistent. So I agree with you. I don't think we're that far off. I'd like to see some better play out of certain guys. I mean, we need that. There's some guys we count on that need to play better. There's been some surprises, so that's kind of balanced that out. But if we get everybody firing, we could be a pretty good team. And like I said, we're not that far off.
Do you have any final questions here? All right. Thank you for your time, Coach.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right. We're joined here by Noah Cates. Prior to UMD's weekend series with Western Michigan, we'll start off with questions right away. Over to Matt.
Noah, what was it like getting back on the ice with the team today for practice? And I'm wondering if Coach kind of mentioned these breaks can make you reconsider, reevaluate how life and such. And I'm wondering if there's a different mindset you felt out there today after the break.
Yeah, for sure. We're just happy to be out there, happy to see the guys again, and had a good practice, good amount of jump, good energy, and we got to carry that into the weekend and our couple games here.
Back to Matt.
Did this feel at all like coming back from a holiday break in the past, or was there a different feel to this?
Little bit, but kind of knowing that our past couple of games haven't been great. We're hungry, and usually coming into the second half, it's a bit of a different feel, a bit of a reset, but we kind of know that we struggled maybe the past couple of games, and we were really hungry to play that Miami series, and that getting called off was hard for us, but we just got to kind of continue that and keep that hunger that we want points this weekend and a couple of wins, and I think we'll be good for this weekend if we just keep that energy and everything like that.
Go to Sam.
Noah, you kind of touched on it. Do you feel like there's going to be that extra motivation? Maybe that first period is just going to be, guys really, really hungry to get back on the ice?
Yeah, for sure. We're hungry for those points, like I said. Excited to be back on the ice. So hopefully we can kind of keep that energy for 2 games and 60 minutes in both games. But we just gotta kind of play hockey. We've been looking at kind of some things to do a little bit differently, and like kind of coach said, we're not far off. We're right there with these games, and hopefully we kind of have two good efforts this weekend for a couple wins.
Go over to Bruce.
You mentioned you feel like you're close. How close were you in that St. Cloud series? Even the Friday game, or maybe you didn't play as well. It's a 1-goal game, and then Saturday, it was that back and forth, but not a ton happening either way.
Yeah, we feel like we're right there. Just one little thing here and there. They're an opportunistic team, and just cleaning up some things defensively, but also offensively, I think we got to be a little bit better. Whether it's more pucks than that or just kind of competing and winning battles more. So it's nothing crazy. We're not super far off, not getting our chances, and not playing good defense. It's just a little extra effort everywhere on the ice.
Over to Matt.
Noah, how did you and your roommates there pass the time during quarantine? What were you guys able to do to stay in shape, and any estimation of how many NHL games you got in to start the year here?
Yeah, that was nice having NHL back, but we got Catan for the house, a couple other card games that we've been playing, but we kind of had early on in our little shutdown, we got some weights from the rink, had some workouts at the house, and just kind of walking around by our house, stuff like that. But it was nice to be on the outdoor rink skating and touching pucks again for kind of today. We had a good practice today, and guys were excited to be out there, and kind of didn't really look like we missed a beat kind of from our focus and execution, but maybe the legs and lungs will be a little bit differently, but we just got to battle through that stuff.
Does that make a big difference, being able to go out in the outdoor rinks and touch some pucks before coming back to whatever the coaches had waiting for you today?
Yeah, for sure. Just kind of getting that passing, not going 10 days without, sticking on a real puck on ice or whatever. But it was just fun being out there with the guys again after a week away. But obviously when you're back on the ice with the coaches, it's a little bit different, but we were crisp and it was a good practice today.
Over to Neil.
No, I asked Coach this, but just kind of want to get your thoughts. He stressed kind of energy, but what does fans coming into Amsoil this week for the first time for you guys kind of do on that aspect?
Yeah, it'll be fun having some family and friends at the games. We know that they've been supporting us from afar, and kind of all the Bulldog fans, but it'll be nice to have them around watching, and just kind of, hopefully they're pretty loud for us. I know that my mom will be screaming, but it'll be good to kind of have us open up and maybe some more fans down the road.
Over to Bruce.
And Noah, this Western Michigan team you're about to face had a pretty good weekend last weekend. I'm sure you saw them in the pod. I don't know if you had a chance to watch last week's games against St. Cloud, but what are your thoughts on this Broncos team that's coming in here this weekend?
Yeah, they're obviously a good team. Tough team, hard, physical, kind of like they've been in the past, but kind of like how they struggled early on, made them hungrier for kind of now. And they're playing hard just because they had those early losses. They're a desperate team for these points, and they had a big weekend versus St. Cloud that got them right back in it. So obviously they're a much improved team from the pod, and they're gonna be hungry to kind of take us down. So we're hungry from coming back from this break. So hopefully we can kind of take it to them, and it'll be a good battle this weekend for sure.
Go to Sam.
I know it feels like a while ago, but that Friday night game where Luke and Blake were able to get their first career goals, how exciting is it for you to see the younger guys be able to contribute immediately, to kind of even, to see that depth start to show on the roster?
Yeah, for sure. That got us right back in that game. So super happy for both those guys. And that was huge for us to kind of get right back in that game when kind of things were a little, dead or something. That game was a little weird, but huge for them to kind of get us right back in it. And right after that, we kind of took off in that second.
You have any other questions here for Noah? All right. Thank you for your time, Noah.
Thanks.